Katie here. Thank you so much for joining me for 3 Tip Tuesday. Today we are talking about SEO, search engine optimization. It's how Google finds you organically, but I'm not going to waffle on and tell you what I think SEO is. Today we are joined by Amy from Petsitter SEO. Welcome, Amy.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming to join us today.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm waving from New Jersey, just so everybody knows, down by the beach.
Oh, you lucky thing. How jealous I am. Amy is an SEO expert. So, Amy, can you tell us why SEO is so important?
SEO is very cool. SEO are the more or less free design things that you can do for your website on the site and off the site to get yourself found. They're usually simple things, but they're the things that Google looks for. And as we all know, Google is the #1 search engine, and the others tend to follow. So if you get your act together and you keep it in line with what Google wants and what people are going to, what is most easy for people who come to visit your site, you're golden, and you're going to rise up in search results.
So, Amy, can you give us 3 tips on what we should be doing with our SEO for our websites, for our pet businesses, please?
Yes, the first one I would suggest is making sure that your site is easily viewed on mobile devices. That could be cell phones, that could be a tablet,
Okay.
iPad, anything smaller than a regular desktop. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first is because more searches are done on mobile these days than anywhere else. And so you want to make it, again, overall message here is to make your website easy for people to visit and to navigate around and to get the information they want. It's easier for them to do that if they're on a device than not having to pull the text up, put it back down. You want to navigate over to the menu, pull it back up, put it back down. So you always want to have your website look good on mobile. Okay?
And does Google penalize websites that aren't mobile friendly?
Very, very good. Yes, they do. It's not that these days, I don't know that they penalize you so much as they will show other people above you.
Okay.
In categories. Say if you're a pet sitter, they are more likely to show someone in your area coming up in a search if their site is mobile and yours isn't. That's one of the ranking factors that they have. Google has over 200 or roughly 200 things that they look at. And yes, mobile access is one of the highest ones. It's one of the first ones they look at. So yes.
Yeah, I think I saw a study somewhere, and it's like something like, is it 70 or 80% of people are actually viewing websites now on their mobile devices?
Yes, I've seen that as well. The numbers are way over 50%. And just think of all the times that we do it during the day. You're in the car, You need to find a business. The business that you're used to going to isn't there anymore. It closed. Well, you have to find another one. You're not at home. You're not with your desktop. You're in your car. So you look up on your phone.
Yeah.
Or at night, your TV's off, you're watching something on your laptop and you quick want to look at something, or you're reading something on your reading app and you want to check on something. You don't necessarily do it on your desktop.
No.
You sometimes do it on your phone or your iPad or somewhere. So Google is very forward thinking in this. They knew about this as of, I think it was in April of 15. They said, we're going to start prioritizing people who has mobile apps over those who do not. I should say mobile access, mobile websites.
Yeah.
If you're on WordPress, for the most part, those themes are called responsive. If you have a responsive site, that means it is going to change size and change design a little bit based upon who is accessing it, and that's what you want.
So that's what we should be looking for when we're choosing a theme. to make sure that
Yes.
it's responsive to mobile.
Yes, WordPress is the builder that most people use these days. There are others out there. You can
Yeah.
get one individually with places like GoDaddy and some other large companies. But the one thing you want to make sure of is that the theme you choose, or whatever you choose, that it is responsive, however they want to term it, responsive, mobile ready, anything like that. If you have to pay a little extra per month, per week, per year, whatever, it's definitely worth your while to do that, because
Okay.
Google will look at you and they judge you very harshly.
Fab. Okay. So that was to make sure that your website was mobile responsive.
Yes,
Okay. So
correct.
Amy, what's the second tip that you've got for us on SEO?
The second one is a biggie. The second one is to have and completely fill out your Google My Business listing. This is a listing that comes up, okay? And you can, if you want to even look at mine at some point, mine is on there. I don't know if you can get it from everywhere, but when you do a search, if you look onto, usually onto your right, it comes up. I'm looking to my left, but you get my point.
Yeah.
It comes up on the side of a search. There's usually a box and it'll have one business name on it. You want that to be your business, especially if you are in a local business as opposed to an online business. Online business, it'll come up, but a local business, it's even more important. And what you want to have in there is you want to have your business name. It does not, people, just to remind everybody, it does not need to be your legal business name. It can start that way, but I'll tell you about that in a second. You want to have your name, your address, your phone number, your hours, pictures, okay? Upload your logo. Upload anything that shows you at work. If you have a video, there's a few artists I know who have been on Woof Woof Wednesday, and I have seen one or two of them where they'll have a video showing the progress of their work. You can add that in there. You want to add photos that show a human doing something. So I always tell pet sitters this: if you are in the business of either dog training or overnight boarding or walking, don't just show pets.
Yeah.
Show human providing the service that people want you to provide.
Yeah, people love as well,
So
don't they, to see like the person behind the business, and they love to see a smiley face.
exactly, and they want to see you in control. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to see the dog, on top of you, licking you so much as maybe you standing there, maybe you just walking. Somebody and they can all be cell phone photos. Somebody behind you just walking, just watching you walk, or having you walk towards them. Looks really great in a Google My Business listing. You also, there is something that people do need to keep an eye on. If you are a business a local business, especially if you have a storefront, you need to have your address show, okay? There's a specific reason for that. When Google goes out, one of the things that they do is, well, there's two things. One of the things Google does when they're another factor, they decide how you will come up in a search, okay, is they look at the information in your Google business listing versus the information on your website. Therefore, if you're on a street and your address in your Google My Business is street spelled out, and the information on your website is ST period, not cool. They
Oh,
don't want to
okay.
have a toll-free number, like a free number on one and a local number on the other. No, everything has to be consistent. There are
Okay.
a lot of things that they get from that. There are reviews on your Google My Business that you definitely should get. I actually occasionally post a really nice review generator that gives you code to do that. You want to have those Google reviews. But that's another thing Google looks at. They look at not the number of reviews, but how often your reviews come in. What is the tone of
Okay.
the reviews? Do they mention specific things? Do they mention, she's sweet, she's loving, she trains, she knew how to do this for my dog, she gave my dog first aid? They look at the content of those reviews and they use those to rank you above somebody else. But the one thing I was going to point out was that with your address needs to be as specific as possible in order for you to show up on those maps. You see it more on mobile than anywhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
But when somebody has their address, like say you want to go to a local restaurant, Google values right now proximity over almost everything else. So if you just have your town, okay, and somebody around the corner from you has their address listed, even if you are physically closer to the person who is looking for your business type, if they have their address and you don't, they are going to be listed higher than you are, even if they are further away. Because although Google looks at proximity first, they look at the address listed. And if you've either hidden the address or just didn't enter it and only have, say, your town or your county, that's not going to help you.
So that's really important, isn't it, if you've got a physical store?
Oh, yes.
Really
very
important.
You want to have that address show, and you want to come up on those maps, because again, that's more of a mobile thing for you to come up on those maps, but still it's enough that people want it. The only other thing I was going to mention about Google My Business is when you just like when you're choosing a domain name, you can have, like, if you ever look at mine, my Google My Business says Petsitter SEO, Pet Website Business Consultant. That's not my business name.
No.
But
okay.
Because I have that, when I come up on searches, you're going to know exactly what I do. Even if you don't know what SEO or an SEO is, and they're actually search engine optimization versus search engine optimizer. I kid you not. But you don't have to know that. All you have to know is the rest part, Pet Website Business Consultant.
Yes.
So that's something for you to consider. Say if you have a really nice, like, Bob's Beauties. But if you put on your Google My Business, Bob's Beauties, dog walking, and then the location, you've just won, because people will look at that and they will immediately know what you do and where you are.
Okay.
So that was the second tip. Google My Business. Optimize it, make it happy, and Google will rise you up in search results.
And do you have more information about Google My Business on your website, Amy?
Yes, I do have information on it on my website. I do provide services helping people get that started. Also, I have several blogs about it. So I'd recommend people to go to my blogs, because that will tell you how important certain aspects of it are. I also have another blog that talks about these specific search rankings that will help people. And I load up my blog posts with tons of resources where you can go and look. So it's not just me pulling something out of a happy hat. It's me saying, based upon what has been found in this survey, this is recommended. And
that's over at PetsitterSEO.com.
Yes.
Okay, we'll make sure that goes in the notes as well. So
yes, please. And I would like to point out that Ireland, I miss you. I've looked on my Google Analytics, and I have most visitors from America, Canada, and the UK. So Ireland, I'm a citizen. Somebody come over and visit my website. Haven't been there in forever, but I do love it.
Perfect. Okay, that was a plea from Amy. If you're from Ireland, make sure you go over and say hello to Amy in particular.
Exactly. Hi.
Okay, Amy, our third SEO tip.
Third SEO tip. On your website, preferably your header should look like this. You should have on the right, okay, you should have, and I don't want to put my hands up because I don't want to confuse anyone. On the right, you should have and this is mostly on desktop, you should have your header. Sorry, on the left, you have your header. On the right, you want to have your contact information and your phone number. You should have your contact information. If you're unable to put it in your header, a header which would appear on every page, you need to make sure that your contact information is on every single page, preferably maybe even more than once, because you don't want to ever have somebody say, I love this, this looks great, I have no idea where these people are or how to reach them. So you always want to make sure that your contact information is easy to find and not just on a contact us page. because
Okay.
I've had several people who've said to me, that's not important because I have a contact us page. And I'm like, yeah, but why should somebody look for information that they expect to find on, say, a contact page, on a services page, on a page where you tell what area you work in? If
Mm.
you're somebody who goes and say is a dog walker and you goes to different towns in your area and they're on that page, you've got them in there. They found that page because you listed their hometown,
Yes.
but then you don't tell them how to reach you. And the only place it is hidden over in your contact us page.
Yeah.
So you need to make it, again, we're talking as easy as possible for clients. That is not something that's specific. You will not find that in the Google search rankings, but ease of navigation is something that the search engines really like. And I do mean, when I say search engines, I don't just specifically mean Google. I also mean Bing and,
Yeah.
Yahoo, whoever else is around. But the big thing, make sure that people know how to reach you from any page on your website, whether it's information that's in your header, in your footer, in your sidebar, in your text. Just make sure that it is there at least once, if not twice, on every page of your website.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Amy. Those tips were absolutely amazing. And if you want to find out more of what Amy has to offer, please head over to Petsitter SEO. Amy, you also on Facebook?
Yep, I'm Petsitter SEO on Facebook. And I also have my email, which is amy@petsitterseo.com. And I also do, besides, I do SEO reviews. I can look at your site. I can usually look at a site within 30 seconds and go, oh my, we have to work on this. I
That's
do
not
SEO
good.
reviews. No, usually you'd be surprised. People will come to me and go, I had no idea about that. I'm like, I know, they changed it since you started your site. But I do SEO reviews. I can also help with website editing. I've done most builders. And also little things. You can also ask me a question. So I don't have a problem if somebody wants to send me just a quick message and say, did you ever, how do I do this? Or do you remember how to do that?
Perfect. Brilliant, Amy. Thank you so much. So down below, you can download the cheat sheet with Amy's 3 SEO tips. Also, I'd love to know if you're using SEO for your website or if it absolutely scares you and you don't even know where to start. Leave a comment below and we will get those questions answered and we will help you with your SEO. So I will see you next time for another 3 Tip Tuesday.